I'm a CEO in the truest sense of the word, the kind with money, looks, and a gym membership to prove it. But sometimes I get the distinct feeling that people take me for an idiot. My old flame tells people my girlfriend got jealous, threw a drink on her, and pushed her to the ground. A girl I knew as a kid shows up with a cheap necklace, claiming she was the one who saved my life and that my girlfriend is standing in the way of our true love. On my wedding day, my fiancé's identical twin sister tries to take her place at the altar. I just look at them all and wonder, do I really seem that stupid? Jessica White was my college girlfriend. We broke up amicably the day she left to study abroad. Now she's back, and she has this annoying habit of popping up wherever Chloe and I are. It started to get on my nerves. Tonight, I brought Chloe with me to a corporate gala. "Chloe, you look amazing," I said. She gave me a sideways glance. "You're such a charmer." A moment later, her expression soured. I followed her gaze. Well, what do you know? Jessica White. What was she doing at a private event for corporate partners? Your one that got away is here. Aren't you going to go say hello? Chloe murmured. Don't even start. There's nothing between us anymore. Just because I'm a CEO doesn't mean I have to have some lingering old flame, you know? Before Jessica could head in our direction, I turned and walked away. No thanks. I was here to work. Schmoozing with these old suits is how you make money. And in this life, you have to do everything yourself. Mr. Davis, has your firm given any more thought to selling that lot over in Long Island City? My company's looking to develop another property. Mr. Peterson, when are we going to partner up again? Last time was a win-win for both of us. Oh, you're already in a deal with another firm. No worries, no worries. There's always next year. Ms. Rivers, you look stunning tonight. The products you endorse for us are flying off the shelves. We should absolutely extend your contract. I'll have my people talk to your agent. I was deep in the grind when a shriek cut through the chatter. I looked over. It was coming from where Chloe had been standing. Dropping my champagne glass on a passing tray, I rushed over. Chloe was standing there, holding an empty wine glass. Sprawled on the floor at her feet, drenched and disheveled, was Jessica. I looked at Chloe. Are you okay? I'm fine, she whispered back, her face pale. Jessica's eyes welled up, her expression a perfect mask of wounded innocence. Her voice was a saccharine drawl. Chloe, I know you don't like me being around Logan, but you didn't have to throw your drink on me and push me down. A few tears dutifully rolled down her cheeks as she sobbed. I know Logan and I are in the past, but you can't just hurt me like this because you're jealous. Then she looked up at me, her eyes red-rimmed and pleading. Logan, please don't blame her. Don't fight because of me. She probably just did this because she loves you so much, and that's why she hates me. She sniffled again. Even though she's always trying to pick on me, she trailed off, bowing her head to cry quietly. I listened with a frown. First off, Chloe is older than her, so the whole damsel in distress routine felt particularly performative. Chloe turned to me, her voice tight with panic. I didn't throw it at her. She fell on her own, but no one else had been close enough to see what happened. No one would believe her. Chloe looked like she was about to cry, probably convinced I was going to hate her now. A crowd was already gathering, whispering among themselves. Oh my God, that Chloe girl is way out of line. She actually got physical. I bet Logan is going to dump her for this. He's totally about to yell at her. Look, his face is getting dark. He's about to blow. For God's sake, I just have resting jerk face. Can a guy get the facts straight before making a decision? Do they think I'm just going to throw away a relationship with a woman I claw my way into a relationship with? Seeing the scene unfold, Chloe's hand started to tremble. I gently took her hand and gave it a reassuring squeeze. Then I raised my voice. Staff, can we get some help over here? This is a mess. I took a step forward, my gaze sweeping over the gawking waiters. Someone has fallen. Is anyone going to help her up? And this floor is dangerously slick. Who mopped this area? Jessica stared at me, utterly shocked. I ignored her. Her wide-eyed disbelief was almost funny. What did she expect? That I'd rush to her side like a lapdog and start screaming at Chloe? Several waiters hurried over and helped Jessica to her feet. Our apologies, Mr. Taylor. We'll take Ms. White to get cleaned up right away, the event manager said respectfully. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw Jessica flash a triumphant, wicked little smile when she thought no one was looking. You can't beat me, Chloe, it seemed to say. See? Logan still cares about me. I had to suppress a laugh. Did she really think no one saw that? I did. Just as they were about to lead her away, I spoke. Hold on. Pull the security footage. Let's see exactly how she fell. Jessica's face went white. No, that's not necessary, Logan. If you play the video, Chloe will be even more humiliated in front of everyone. I forgive her. Chloe squeezed my hand, terrified I'd actually agree not to look at the footage. I kept my expression flat as I looked at Jessica. Let's just watch it. I'd rather not blame an innocent person or let a guilty one off the hook. The event staff was efficient. A minute later, the video was sent to my phone. After watching it, I airdropped it to the manager, who played it on a nearby monitor for everyone to see. Now, it was Jessica's turn for her face to drain of all color. I stared at her coldly. Why don't you explain this to me? The video clearly shows you bumping into her arm, causing the wine to spill on yourself. I gestured around us. This is a huge room. Why were you so determined to run right into her? Don't tell me it was an accident. And another thing, I continued, my voice sharp. The video shows you losing your balance and falling all on your own. Chloe even reached out to try and catch you. And you have the nerve to slander her? Be careful, Jessica. I could sue you for defamation. My expression was grim, my eyes fixed on her. Jessica shoved the waiter's hands away. Her head shook back and forth like a metronome as she stumbled toward me. Logan, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done it. For the sake of what we used to have, please forgive me. So you can watch us fine now, I thought, rolling my eyes internally. All that drama for nothing. I placed a hand gently on Chloe's shoulder. You should be apologizing to Chloe. She's the one you try to frame. Jessica looked at Chloe with resentment before forcing a smile that was uglier than a grimace. Chloe, I'm so sorry. I was wrong. Please don't sue me. I swear, I'll never show up in front of you again. When Chloe didn't respond, panic set in. Jessica started sobbing for real this time, her mascara running down her face until she looked like a train wreck. Whatever you want, I'll do it. Should I call the police for you? I asked Chloe. Chloe hesitated, then shook her head. Just let go. As long as she stays away from me from now on. I turned to Jessica, my face a thundercloud. Then get out of here, and don't ever let me see you near either of us again. Or else. My tone, combined with the sharp cut of my black suit, carried an unmistakable menace. Watching Jessica's pathetic retreat, I shook my head. Chloe was too kind. I pulled out my phone and made a call. Effective immediately, Taylor Corp will no longer have any business dealings with the White family or their company. Terminate any existing contracts as soon as the terms allow. I paused. If they want an explanation, tell them to ask their daughter, Jessica. I emerged from a 2-hour board meeting, my back aching. My assistant, Mark, was waiting for me. Mr. Taylor, he said, there's a young woman in your office who says you know her from your childhood. She claims you owe her your life. He cleared his throat. And, spit it out, Mark. If you're sick, go to a doctor. Don't get me sick. I have work to do. I've had a long day and was in no mood for guessing games. Your girlfriend, Miss Evans, is also here. She came by to have lunch with you, but then she ran into your childhood savior. They're both waiting for you now. I spun around and strode toward my office. Pushing the door open, I saw Chloe sitting on one side of the sofa and a stranger on the other. Chloe's face was a stoic mask. Great. She probably thought I'd abandon her for some new mystery woman. Her eyes met mine, and I immediately threw my hands up in surrender. I didn't do it. It wasn't me. I have no idea what's going on. This is the first time I've ever seen her. Chloe's expression remained skeptical. What is this? Are we just letting anyone into my office now? I snapped, yanking at my tie in frustration. Mark, what am I paying you for? Why wasn't she asked to wait in the reception area? I'm sorry, sir. Ms. Evans said they would wait in here together. I waved him off, dismissing him. The strange girl stood up and walked over timidly. Logan, do you remember me? She began. I'm Tiffany Lee. We used to play together when we were kids. I saved you once, and you said you'd marry me when we grew up. You even said this necklace was our promise. Her voice got smaller, and her face grew redder. She glanced at me shyly before looking down at the floor. She held out a thin silver chain, which, to her credit, was still in pretty good shape. I did remember playing with a neighbor girl. There was one time I slipped and fell into the shallow little fish pond in her backyard. She panicked and pulled me out. The water barely came up to my thighs, but I was grateful nonetheless. So, I swiped my mom's silver necklace and gave it to her, spouting some nonsense about a life debt and marrying her when I grew up. Thank God I didn't grab her gold one. With the price of gold these days, that would have been a terrible investment. But I was only 8 at the time. She must have been 6 or 7. A couple of kids who hadn't even lost all their baby teeth talking about marriage. Shortly after that, I was sent off to boarding school to prepare for my eventual takeover as CEO. I'd forgotten all about it. How could she remember for so long? I had heard rumors recently that her family's company, Lee Industries, was in some financial trouble. I offered a polite, shallow smile. Of course, I remember. We played together as kids. Your dad used to bring you over to our house all the time. You were so scrawny and pale back then. You looked like you weren't eating enough. I let that hang in the air for a second before continuing. But we were just kids then. You can't take the things we said seriously. Maybe your father and I can get together for a drink sometime. Catch up. Across the room, Chloe's tense shoulders finally relaxed. The message was clear enough, right? There's no us, but I'm willing to discuss your father's business problems. Now, please leave. Tiffany, however, glanced at Chloe. Logan, I've been waiting for you all these years. I know you have feelings for me, too. Every night, I hold this necklace and think of you. Her eyes shifted back to Chloe. Does Chloe not like me? I just want to be near you, Logan, even just as a little sister. What is it with everyone wanting to be Chloe's sister? My head was starting to throb. Lady, I have a mountain of paperwork on my desk, and I'll probably be working late tonight. I don't have time for this. Chloe stood and walked to my side. Ms. Lee, did you not hear him? Things kids say don't mean anything. Besides, Logan already has a girlfriend. I would hope you'd understand what's appropriate. Tiffany's eyes were fixed on Chloe. He's just your boyfriend, you're not married. I knew Logan long before you were ever in the picture. She wore a smug, defiant look. And what I feel for him is true love. No one could drive me away. You have no shame. Chloe's face flushed with anger. Honestly, she was terrible at arguing. I stood up, gently guiding Chloe back in her chair. I slid my hands into my pockets, adopting a cold, unapproachable stance. Ms. Lee, I said, my voice dangerously low. I don't want to repeat myself. I know the state your family's company is in, and I also know all about you and your last few boyfriends. Don't play me for a fool. Her jaw dropped. You have 3 seconds. Get out, or the Lee family business will be a memory by morning. Damn, saying that felt good. No wonder those other CEOs are always spouting lines like that. Tiffany froze, a chill running down her spine. What? Before I could get to 2, she was gone. Did she really think I'd be her knight in shining armor and bail out her family? The nerve. I knelt in front of Chloe, tilting my head up to meet her gaze. You have to trust me. I'm not going to just fall for someone else. The next time you run into some weirdo with questionable morals, just ignore her. I'll handle it. I gently squeezed her cheek. Don't be mad, okay? She put on a pouty face. It's just my insecurities. But you're right. I'll trust you from now on. Chloe has an identical twin sister. Her sister was always sickly as a child, and their parents convinced themselves it was because Chloe had stolen her nutrients in the womb. As a result, they always favored her sister, forcing Chloe to give up everything for her. It left her with a deep-seated lack of security. But that was fine. As CEO of her heart, I'd be the one to give her all the favoritism she needed. She was hard won after all. We had a nice dinner together. After I dropped her off at home, I went back to the office for another few miserable hours of work, all thanks to that woman wasting my time. You know what? I think I'll make a few calls and add to the Lee family's business troubles after all. For a while, things were peaceful. Chloe and I set a wedding date. When I met with her parents to discuss the arrangements, I expected them to throw up some roadblocks, but surprisingly, everything went smoothly. I couldn't help but be suspicious. Given how they treated Chloe, I wasn't worried about them asking for a fortune, but I was terrified of what they might pull behind our backs. On the day of the wedding, Chloe was not in her wedding dress. She sat on her bed, her face a pale sheet. Her mother held her hand. Chloe, please, just agree to what your father and I are asking. The Taylors are one of the wealthiest families in the country. You're not cut out for that world. Let your sister marry into it. And why is she suited for it? Chloe asked. Her father scoffed. Your sister was born for a life of luxury. The Taylors are a perfect match for her. Once she's married, she'll take care of you. Her sister, Zoe, added, Sweetheart, I've been sick my whole life. You have no idea how much I've envied you. I fell in love with Logan the first moment I saw him. If I can't have a healthy body, and I can't have him either, I'd rather just die. Zoe put on a pained expression and leaned weakly against their mother. At the sight of this, the two parents turned on Chloe, their voices sharp with anger. You have to give this wedding to your sister. You know she's not well, and you're still trying to upset her. You ungrateful child. We raised you, and this is how you repay us? It doesn't matter. You're giving this wedding to your sister today. No. Chloe stood up, her eyes locked on them. Logan was right. I can't keep letting her have everything. This is the man I love. I will never, ever give him to her. Her father raised a hand as if to strike her, but Chloe didn't flinch. From the day we were born, I've given her everything. The only thing left to give is my life. Whatever debt I supposedly owed her, it's been paid in full. I'm not giving up Logan. Huh, it's not up to you. Zoe sneered, her eyes glinting with malice. You too. Tie her up and lock her in the storage room. Watch her. Don't let her out until this wedding is over. Two burly housekeepers moved to grab Chloe. As she struggled, Zoe stepped forward and slapped her hard across the face. Pinned down, Chloe could only glare back, helpless and furious. Zoe patted her cheek. My dear, sweet sister. After today, Logan will be mine. You'll never have a better life than me. Ever. Take her away. Once Chloe was gone, Zoe began to get into the wedding dress. She and Chloe were perfect duplicates. Even their closest friends sometimes got them mixed up. How could Logan possibly tell the difference? She was already dreaming of her wonderful life with him. The thought of Logan's handsome face, his incredible body. Zoe couldn't help but smile. When I arrived at the Evans house, my grin was a permanent fixture. I've been smiling since the moment I woke up. Mark, my assistant, seeing me this happy, thought to himself that it had been a long time since he'd seen his boss smile so freely. If I knew he was thinking that, I'd probably smack him. Who has time to smile when they're buried under a mountain of work every day? After the groomsmen had sufficiently bribed their way in with a flurry of red envelopes, a tradition I found amusing, the bride began her slow descent down the stairs. Here comes the bride. She was a vision in her gown, an angel floating down with grace and elegance. She was breathtaking. The smile on my face froze. I just stared at her, speechless. Everyone assumed I was simply stunned by her beauty. Then my expression hardened. I took a step back, scanning the room. Where's Chloe? These monsters, I thought. I knew it wouldn't be this easy. Just wait until I find her. The crowd was stunned into silence. Zoe scurried over, trying to take my arm, but I sidestepped her. Logan, I'm right here, she said, trying to sound calm. She had spent weeks studying how Chloe acted around me. There was no way I could know. Her mother rushed over, smiling. That's right, Logan. Chloe is right here. You two should get going. You'll be late for the ceremony. Her father added, Yes, hurry up now, Chloe. He shot Zoe a look, urging her to get me out of the house. I glanced around. 2 of the housekeepers were missing. I immediately pulled out my phone and called Chloe. It went straight to voicemail. Just then, Zoe reached for my hand again. I twisted her arm behind her back. Ow, that hurts. Dad, Mom, help me, she cried. Mark, call 911. Tell them my fiancée, Chloe Evans, is missing. I suspect a kidnapping. Why, yes, right away, sir. Mark fumbled for his phone. I turned to my groomsmen, my voice cold. You guys search every single room in this house. Look for anyone who looks exactly like this woman. It finally dawned on them. The bride had a twin sister. This was a switch. I shoved Zoe to the floor, and her parents rushed to her side. My eyes were like daggers as I stared at the 3 of them. Tell me where Chloe is right now, and I might consider going easy on you, I said in a low, dangerous voice. But if you keep silent, I will make you regret the day you were born. Now talk. The pressure in the room was suffocating. They were lucky we lived in a civilized society, or I would have already started breaking things. Just as Zoe's mother was about to speak, Zoe grabbed her arm. Don't you dare. She looked up at me. Logan, how did you know I wasn't Chloe? I shot her a contemptuous look. Was I not supposed to notice? You're nothing like her. You don't walk like her, you don't talk like her, you don't smile like her. Most importantly, you don't feel like her. You're nothing like her in any way that matters. My words struck Zoe like a physical blow. She suddenly burst out laughing, a wild, unhinged sound. Ha ha, ha ha ha. Logan, do you really think Chloe is some pure, innocent little thing? She saw slut. You didn't know, did you? When she was studying abroad, she had boyfriends of every color. She even lived with a man for years, she shrieked. The woman you put on a pedestal is nothing but used goods that everyone's had a turn with. The nerve, spreading vicious rumors about Chloe at a time like this. Just as I was about to retort, a voice called from upstairs. We found her, Logan. I saw Chloe being helped down the stairs and rushed to meet her. She was tied up in a storage room. Her legs are bound for a while. They're probably numb. Okay. Chloe looked at me, her face crumpled with relief, looking like she might burst into tears at any second. I stroked her hair, smiled, and swept her up into my arms. It's okay now, I murmured. From this day on, you have nothing more to do with them. I carried her down the stairs. When I reached her parents, I paused and gave them a final cold look. The police are here. You can explain the kidnapping charges to them. As I turned to leave, Zoe blocked my path. Logan, you really love this slut that much? You don't even care that she lived with a man for years? For all you know, she has some bastard child hidden away somewhere. Hearing this, Chloe asked me to put her down. The moment her feet touched the ground, she swung her hand and slapped Zoe across the face. That one was for the slap you gave me earlier. She slapped her again. And that one is for your filthy mouth. Zoe tried to retaliate, but I caught her wrist and kicked her legs out from under her. Chloe met me the day she arrived overseas, I announced to the room. The only boyfriend she's ever had is me. And the man she was living with for all those years? That was me too. At my words, all the color drained from Zoe's face. and she collapsed onto the floor. The police arrived, and Mark explained everything. They took Zoe and her parents into custody. As she was being led away, Zoe shot one last, hateful glare at Chloe. "Are you okay?" I asked Chloe, my voice gentle again. "Should we go to the hospital? Get you checked out? Make sure you're not hurt." She held my hand. "I'm fine. I didn't fight them. I knew how to protect myself." She smiled. "My legs were just a little numb, but they're fine now." She even did a little twirl to prove it. I picked her up again anyway and carried her to the wedding car. "We can still make it. Let's go get married." In the car, she looked at me, hesitant. "What is it? Just say it. You're not scared of your husband, are you?" "No, I just wanted to ask. How did you know it wasn't me back there?" Honestly, even my own friends saw her in the dress and thought it was me. I turned to look at her, feigning exasperation. "And I just told you how smart you were. Was it supposed to be hard? Besides your face, nothing else is the same. The way you walk, the way you talk, your smile. Most importantly, the feeling is completely different. I don't like her. I like you." "Huh." Hearing that, Chloe leaned against my shoulder and laughed, her heart full. I rubbed my forehead. Why did everyone in my life have to be so much trouble? The wedding was a success. I finally had my wife. All things considered, the process was relatively smooth. Do other people have to deal with this much drama? Oh well, at least we had our honeymoon to look forward to. Surely nothing could go wrong with that. The day we got back from our trip, we walked into our house to find all the lights blazing. "Is someone here?" Chloe asked. "Probably just the cleaning service," I said as we walked further in. Then I saw her, sitting silently in the living room. My mother. "Mom, you scared me. Why didn't you tell me you were coming?" My mother didn't speak. She just lifted her head and gave Chloe a long, measured look. "Hi, Mom," Chloe said nervously. "Please have a seat. I'll go make you some tea." "No need. I came here to talk to you." "Sit down." Chloe sat down cautiously. She knew the mother-in-law relationship could be tricky, especially with a wealthy family. My mother's face remained a blank slate. Seeing this, I rolled my eyes internally. Here we go again. My mother cleared her throat. "Chloe, back when your family still had their company, they were well off, so I didn't say anything. But the Evans family is gone now. You're just an ordinary girl. You're not a suitable match for a family like the Taylors." Her voice was cold. "If you two weren't already married, I would have offered you money to leave my son." Chloe's face fell. She had expected this. A woman from a similar background would have been a better fit. Even if her family's company still existed, it was nothing compared to the Taylors. I took a sip of water. "Well, we're married, so what's the point of saying all this? Do you think this is a movie where you offer her a check to walk away? I wouldn't have married anyone else. You should be grateful for her. Otherwise, your son was destined to be a lonely old bachelor." "You, be quiet," my mother snapped, pointing a finger at me helplessly. She turned her attention back to Chloe. "From now on, you are to wake up at 6 a.m. every morning to make Logan's breakfast from scratch." "I don't like fancy breakfasts," I cut in. "And if she gets up that early, it'll wake me up, and I don't want to get up that early." "Then you must cook all his meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Logan has a sensitive stomach. The food from outside is unhealthy. You will cook for him at home." Do all CEOs have sensitive stomachs in her world? My stomach is made of iron. Who told her it was sensitive? Was it Mark? Chloe started to speak. I cut her off. I'm a picky eater, and I'm used to the way our chef, Mrs. Gable, cooks. I don't like anyone else's food. We have a chef. Why would Chloe need to do her job? Unless, I added, looking at my mother suspiciously, you're planning on firing Mrs. Gable and taking her for yourself. I stared at her, ready for a fight. My mother looked at her exasperating son. She was trying to establish some ground rules for her new daughter-in-law. Weren't these rules for his own good? Taking a deep breath, she tried again. Then you will be responsible for his laundry. It must be washed by hand. Washing machines don't get things truly clean. I stared at her, utterly baffled. Mom, are you serious? I spent months leading a team to develop our company's new washing machine. Are you telling me it doesn't work? You can't be serious. I lost sleep. I barely ate. I hardly even saw my own fiancé for months working on that project. I lost 10 pounds. I will not allow you to slander my work. That machine is my baby. Faced with my ridiculous tirade, my mother seemed to forget what other rules she had planned to lay down. She was too flustered. Chloe, who had been bracing for confrontation, could only lower her head to hide her smile as she listened to our back and forth. She probably knew I was doing this on purpose. That she should quit her job to take care of you at home, my mother said, her last resort. I stopped talking and leveled a dead serious stare at her. She immediately backtracked. I was joking. I know how much you value a woman who pursues her own ambitions. She quickly turned to Chloe, taking her hand. Yes, you must keep working. Do whatever you want to do. Her tone was suddenly warm. I just came by to see if you two needed anything. You should come visit your father and me at the estate when you have time. Chloe smiled sweetly at her. A few minutes later, my mother left. The great mother-in-law war that could have been was over before it began. Chloe pursed her lips. Were you serious about all that stuff you told your mom? You really don't want me to do any of that? I smiled at her. Honey, I am a CEO. I have housekeepers, drivers, and a personal chef. Why on earth would I need you to do any of that? Unless you actually want to make me breakfast? Chloe shook her head emphatically. No, exactly. I work my butt off all day. Why would I marry a woman just to turn her into a domestic servant? Have these people been reading too many of those trashy billionaire novels, where the heroine marries a rich guy only to spend her days cooking and cleaning an 8,000 square foot penthouse while getting tormented by his family? Get real. I'm the one who makes the money. My wife doesn't do chores.